Hey YouTube, dr.k here. Welcome to my review for the US airing of Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 10 or 11. If you don't know, I am reviewing the episodes in the US as they air, even though I already did the spoiler recordings. For those that have, not watched the international ones and are watching along, kind of keeping up my regular set of videos from when it aired in the US. But I'm doing a little bit differently. Rather than doing my sort of review as I summarize, I'm kind of just talking about the general events. And this was the start of the Space Sheriff, the Chaku arc, based off of the Gavin footage we have from Go Busters. And if you know my channel, and I've talked about this before, obviously in the international discussions, but in the other discussions about the Metal Heroes that were going to be in this, and I was kind of hoping they weren't going to use it because I really hated that they shoved Gavin into Go Busters. I hate when they do stuff like that, period. But then I was like, stop trying to Metal Heroes happen. Stop trying to make Metal Heroes happen. There we go. Take it out. This is like one of those times I wish I didn't know about the Japanese side of it. Like, if you take out my knowledge of the Metal Heroes, this is actually just kind of a cool, reoccurring side character in this season, and kind of a small little expansion of the PR lore, because we've gotten stuff like that before, like with the Blue Centurion. So the idea of kind of this Space Sheriff type character, this like Chaku, is actually kind of cool, and he was pretty likable. And this was a surprising episode. I thought it was a very okay episode, but the things I was surprised by was like the continuity. I mentioned last week how when we finished up the, Mayor Daniels Evox arc, that I kind of wish they hadn't rushed it and finished it in one episode. And when they did that, I assumed, okay, so the next one episode, 2 episodes are probably going to be filler. And then we headed right into this one, which not only sets itself up to be a multi-parter, but it also is has continuing elements from last week with the Ranger Vault and stuff, which I thought was cool. Again, I was kind of surprised because of the way that this season went in the first half. It was kind of easy to forget in the second half that the first half really felt super season-y to me. Like, lots of really useless filler. So I assumed we would go into that trend. So it was a nice surprise that we had not only continuity from last week, but then further continuity going into the next week. So I thought that was kind of cool. And the Rangers really jumped to conclusions a little bit too quick about Chaku, because they had that signal and they're trying to figure it out, and they find this dude without pants. So I guess it's understandable they thought he was a pervert, but they were there's a couple times in this arc, no spoilers, but they're just seeming a little closed-minded and one train of thought, and they don't really think things through. And then Ryjax was kind of an interesting villain that they introduced for a reoccurring bit, and him being after these treasures or whatever. And it was also a neat surprise having the Putties and the Viveks show up. Again, we knew the Dino team-up stuff was happening. I believe the Viveks fighting footage and the civilian fight footage, or part of it, is in the opening. So we knew, that was happening. But there was kind of this interesting case in these first few episodes of surprises. Like I said with Dr. K last week and this week, I did not expect them to show up. I thought it was kind of a neat bit, the idea that, in this universe, he was purchasing essentially different foot soldiers. And it was kind of a cool Easter egg and nice eventual lead-in and teaser to the team-up. And I feel like, I mentioned this a lot in my international reviews, but this was kind of cool because a lot of the quote-unquote surprises were kind of ruined by them announcing them. So we knew stuff was coming, like Dr. K and the team-up and stuff. So it was cool to have these little moments, and stuff we didn't know about, like the vault. But it was cool to have these moments like this that we knew something was happening, but something regarding it happened unexpectedly sooner, like a nice little early surprise. So that was neat. But overall, I don't have too much to say about this other than what I was talking about with the nice surprises and the continuity of the arc. I thought it was an enjoyable, decent-ish start to this arc, and I was, impressed by the sort of level of continuity they were starting to build up. And I don't remember what I gave this episode in the international airing, but I think I'd give it overall a 7. But what did you guys think of this episode and the introduction of the Chaku arc? What do you think of the Chaku character? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications from my videos. dr.k signing out.